In this episode of Nick Foy TV, we're going to be covering the email opt-in freebie that you offer people to get them onto your email list. And more specifically, I'm going to show you how to set up Facebook ads to split test different opt-in offers so you can figure out which one converts best to grow your email list. Alright, so why do you want to split test opt-in freebie offers? Well, number one, people respond differently to different things. Some people might like a worksheet better than an ebook, or they might like training videos instead of reading an in-depth blog article. So that's where the split testing comes into play, trying to see which opt-in offer your audience responds best to. And once you know which opt-in offer converts best, you can just use that one solely on your website to be your primary lead generation tool that gets lots of people onto your email list, where you could begin marketing to them through email funnels. All right, for split testing, you're gonna need three things. Number one, you're gonna need an email service provider. So I use ConvertKit. If you wanna learn more about them, just type in asknickfoy.com/ConvertKit. Or to make things easier, I've made a second link. If you just go to asknickfoy.com/CK, that will redirect you to ConvertKit using my affiliate link. All right, so here inside my dashboard, we're gonna get a quick overview of how many subscribers I'm getting each day, last 7 days, last 30 days, and total. And day by day, I can come in here and check these little graphs. So this big chunk right here was coming from Pinterest, so I gained 11 new subscribers from Pinterest. Now, if you want to check out our previous videos on Pinterest, go back in my channel and find those previous episodes. I think 1 through 5 we've been doing Pinterest, and now episode 6 through up to this point we've been doing email lists. So down here I've got these 6 main forms right here, my 10 short game drills, 7-day putting boot camp. All right, now you can see here they've all just got one visitor. That was me checking out the page on my mobile phone to see what it looks like, because most people using Facebook are going to be on mobile, and I'm going to be running Facebook ads to these landing pages that have these forms. So here's the 10 short game drills landing page. It says what if you could ... and then it gives a couple different benefits like stop 3-putting, make more putts inside 10 feet, get your chip shots close. So things that golfers relate to in their game that they would like to do. And then I say, well, you can. We've got a lot of cool stories, so I give a little testimonial. Then I tell them, here, download my 10 best short game drills, and I've got the opt-in form. Now let's take a look at what it looks like on mobile. All right, so one cool trick you can do with your browser is you can shrink your browser down to a tall rectangle, kind of like it would be on mobile, and you can see how everything would readjust. So now we've got our headline here, our bullets, we've got the testimonial and the call to action, and then our form just drops down underneath. So this is how it's going to look on a mobile phone device. Now if you want to look at what it would be like on an iPad, we could just size this out a little bit bigger to like an iPad screen size. And again, this is what it looks like. So you want to make sure you've got a responsive website, meaning a website that changes based on the device somebody's using. So on desktop, I've got 2 columns here. I've got this column for my text and this column for my form using a page builder. I have the Avada theme, and if you want to learn more about that theme, it's a $60 website theme, and it comes with a page builder, so you can build your own landing pages. You don't have to spend a ton of money for a monthly subscription to lead pages or ClickFunnels. I just build my own landing pages, and then I have my own landing page conversion tracker inside a ConvertKit. So combined with the Avada theme and the ConvertKit email software, I could build a landing page, and then I can track on these forms the conversion rates to be able to see which landing pages are converting the highest rate. So each of these are, the Avada theme, $60, and then I pay about $30, I think, is the beginner plan for a ConvertKit if you're just starting. I pay a higher price because of the number of subscribers I have, but if you're starting out, you'll pay $29 a month for a ConvertKit. So you kind of get 2 in 1. ConvertKit has a landing page builder as well. When you go to create your new form, it's going to ask you if you want to do a form or an actual landing page, but I just do a form because I have my own landing pages I design with my Avada themes page builder. All right, so now that we've explained a little bit about the email software and how it's going to track conversion rates, and I've shown you an example landing page and what it looks like in mobile versus desktop. So we're going to be testing this type of landing page. So if we click over here, we've got the 10 short game drills. We've got the skills assessment. So again, the same style where I've got a headline, some bullets, a call to action, and then my form. And the same thing here with the 7-day putting boot camp. So headline, bullets, call to action, form. So we're testing out this landing page design. So all three of these are identical looking. I'm using the exact same form for all of them. This type of form that's got the name, email address, the picture. And then once we get done testing which of these three opt-in incentives wins, from there, we're going to readjust the landing page. I'm going to end up creating 3 different pages for, let's say, the 7-day putting boot camp. Let's say that's the winner. I'm going to create 3 different landing pages for the 7-day putting boot camp. And I'm going to test different things on each landing page to see if we can further optimize the conversion rate. So instead of doing this layout, maybe I'll put a picture of myself, and then I'll put a call to action, headline, and email form. So to show you a quick example of what that might look like, it could be like this landing page that I'm going to split test for another opt-in. So my photo and an email form that's different without the name field, without the photo. It's just the headline, the sub-headline, and then you've got your form, and I've got some testimonials down here at the bottom. And then when we take a look at it on mobile version, they're going to land on the page first and see my photo at the top as they keep scrolling. Then they see the form with the call to action, and then lastly underneath the testimonials. All right, so you get the gist of it. We've got these different opt-in incentives here that we're going to be testing using the exact same landing page format. We're just testing which opt-in incentive gets the highest conversion rate. So I'm going to set up Facebook ads, try to drive about 500 to 1,000 visitors to each of these. So when we get done with this experiment, we'll come back in here and you'll see how many visitors each of these has, and we'll take a peek at the conversion rates for each of them to see which one is our winner. And then from there, we'll do further split testing on the landing page to see if we can get the conversion rate even higher for that specific opt-in incentive that won. So here I am inside of the Facebook Ads Manager. When you come up here to this little drop-down menu, click on Ads Manager. Now before you do that, you will need to set up a pixel. This isn't the video to show you how to use the Facebook Ads Manager. There's other tutorials on that. But you're going to need a pixel set up on your website so that when people click from the Facebook ad to your website, the pixel tracks every move they make, what pages they're landing on. That way it can come back here and tell you if they made it through from your opt-in page to your thank you page, if they made it all the way to your checkout page, if you converted them into a customer. So I created a campaign for store conversions. So here we go. Let's go ahead and create a new campaign here with the create button. Now it's going to ask us what our objective is. So in this case, it could be lead generation since I'm trying to get opt-ins to my email list. We could also just track traffic, which is clicks. So it'll track every time somebody clicks on the Facebook ad link and takes you over to that landing page where they can then subscribe to the email list. Conversions is more for like stores, but you could also run this as a conversion if you wanted to test whether they make it to the thank you page or not, but that would also work for lead generation. So for this one, I think we're going to go ahead and do traffic. I believe lead generation, Facebook gives you their own kind of like opt-in form to use. So instead of taking them off of Facebook, as soon as they click on an ad, that form kind of just pops up so they stay on Facebook. But I think we want to get them off of Facebook onto my website. So we're just going to track traffic that we send from Facebook to website so we can track every 500 or 1,000 visitors and how many of those are clicking the link, what our link costs are. Because every time somebody clicks a link, it might cost 20, 30, 50 cents depending on what you're bidding. So we'll go ahead and give this campaign a name. We'll call it Golf Opt-in Split Test because we're going to be seeing which opt-in incentive does best to get people onto my email list. So the next step, we got to create an ad set. So we're going to give it an ad name in a moment. We're going to come back to that. That way we can tell what our ad set is, because if you create multiple ad sets, you want to be able to differentiate them. So you got to give them unique names. So we start off with audience. We're going to go ahead and leave this traffic set to website. That's where we're driving our traffic. So that stays by default. Offer, we don't need to worry about this. So we're going to go ahead and just skip down here to audience. We want to create a brand new audience. So everybody in this location, We've already got the United States here. Now, since mine's a golf brand, I'm going to go more international. So I also want people from Canada. We're going to do Australia as well. And we can do the United Kingdom. So we'll start with those 4 regions around the world. And we can also later split test when we want to get more specific. Right now, I'm just split testing opt-in freebies. So I just want general traffic from around the world. But later, once I know which opt-in freebie works best, I know which landing page works best, so I've got my email system set up, then we can start split testing traffic. So I can split test whether United States converts better, whether Canada converts better. So we can come in here and create different ad sets to test individual countries. All right, let's keep scrolling down here. Age, I know based on looking at my Google Analytics, I have a high majority of my visitors are men, and they're 25 to 34 years old. So I'm going to go ahead and start the minimum age at 25, and we're going to go ahead and cap this off probably at age 55. Now again, later I'm going to come back in here and we can split test ages, but I just know based on looking at my Google Analytics, I already know these numbers that I can run 25 to 55 and probably get a higher success rate than if I was to include everybody. All right, as far as gender, we'll go ahead and leave this open, all, because I'm not necessarily sure whether men or women would opt in more, but a big chunk of my audience, since it's golf, is men. Now, everything else here, we're going to leave as is, so let's go ahead back up here to the top, and you can see it automatically adjusted our name up here, so US, Canada, Australia. We could go ahead and put a comma and add UK to that, and then it says 25 to 55. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that as is. Now, if I was doing just males, I could add in a dash here, and we could just put male, or we could just put an M for male, depending on how you want to do your ad name. But since this includes everybody, now we know this ad set is all 4 countries, and it's 25 to 55. So again, if we're split testing ad sets in the future, I might create multiple ad sets that target different countries. So then I would get rid of these, and it would just be US 25 to 55. And then I'd create a second ad set targeting just Canada 25 to 55, and so on. All right, so our estimated daily results right here is 29 to 13,000, and link clicks 75 to 420. Now that's based on our current budget, which is the next set down here we're going to need to set. So that's set at a $20 budget. If we adjust this to $5, then you're going to watch these numbers change. So now it's saying we're only going to reach 590 to 3,700 and only 21 to 130 clicks. So we'll come back to budget in a moment. All right, so we just did audience. Let's scroll down here. We've got detailed targeting. So this is important. Right now, we're targeting 200 million people. Now, we're trying to target people that are interested in these golf opt-ins. So 10 golf drills, a skills assessment to test their golf skills, a putting boot camp to work on their putting. So we really only want people coming across these ads, getting shown these ads that are interested in golf. So that's where detailed targeting, you can choose interest. So we could type in golf as an interest. And then if we want to get more specific, we could type in other things related to golf. So that already cut the reach down to 27 million people. So again, we're expected to reach about 450 to 2,300 people right now at a $5 budget that we've got set. So it's up to me if I want to test out a bunch of different interests. Right now, we could just try to drive a ton of different people, all types of different golf interests. But again, in the future, I can split test individual golf interests. So I could, split test whether the golf channel gets more opt-ins than, let's say, some other golf brand like Nike or Titleist or Tiger Woods. But the reason I like to stay away from Tiger Woods is he's kind of like a popular general figure. He's not so much not necessarily everybody that follows him plays golf. He's just well known and liked by a lot of different people who might watch golf, but they don't necessarily play it or have any interest. So the golf channel tends to be a decent one because that's, people that watch the golf channel to get the golf instruction. So right down here, we've got the golf fix with Michael Breed. So this could be a good one. It says it's only 675 people. So the size really isn't that big for that one. So I'm going to go ahead and undo it. But for right now, we're not going to worry about trying to test a bunch of different interests. Let's just go ahead and keep it pretty general, pretty broad. Let's just use golf. And the people who actually are interested in my golf opt-ins, they'll actually click through the ad to the landing page. So that way we know those are actually the people interested. So we'll target people that have golf as an interest on their Facebook account. So let's go ahead and scroll down here. We can leave connections and everything the same. If you want to save this audience for easy use later so that you don't have to keep setting up a new audience, you can save them. Now, placement, where do we want to place it? Facebook automatic placements, we'll put it in a bunch of different networks. We just want to edit that because I don't want it shown everywhere right now. So we've got their Facebook. They've got it in the feeds, instant articles, in-stream videos, right column, suggested videos, marketplace. Then they've got Instagram, if you want to do an Instagram ad, audience network, and messenger. Right now, we don't want to test different platforms, so I'm just going to go ahead and undo these. We're just going to keep it on Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and leave these other platforms alone. Later, again, we can come back and split test once we know which opt-in we're going to run with in our Facebook ads. Then I'll come back and we'll turn on these other networks and see if they give us a good conversion rate better than Facebook does. But for right now, we're going to keep it simple. I could even keep it simple, just the Facebook feed. But I'm going to go ahead and let all these other ones ride out because it might help keep my costs low. The more options you do, Facebook will optimize for cost. So I don't want to spend a ton of money just running it on the feed because I'll be competing with other people that are for the feed. So we'll keep it for some of these. That way we can keep our costs down a little bit. All right, mobile devices, all mobile devices, leave that as is. We're not going to exclude any categories. So let's move on down here to budget. So again, daily budget, we could start off $5, but since I'm testing multiple opt-ins right now, I want to try to get results as quick as possible. So we'll ramp this up. We'll give it a $30 budget, and let's see how many clicks that's going to be. That's going to be 30 to 120 clicks per day. So again, I'm trying to drive, like I said, 500 would be a pretty good number here and to get onto each of these forms. But 500 link clicks, if each link click costs 50 cents, that's going to be, $250 just to get a bunch of people here. So ideally, you need a good amount of data to be able to see whether it really differs between these opt-in incentives. But for right now, in the short term, I think realistically, since these clicks are going to be costing anywhere from 25 cents to 50 cents, to get 100 people, let's say, to this opt-in form, that's going to cost me about $50. So I think since I've got 3 different opt-in incentives here that I'm mainly going to be testing in this first run, if I try to spend about $50 for each of them, that's about $150. It's going to cost me to drive about 300 people, 100 to each of these forms. So in total, 300, and that's going to be $150. So let's go ahead, I guess, and set this daily budget here to 50, and that way, and maybe in a couple of days, or actually let's dial it back down to 30. We'll run this for 5 days, so that after 5 days we have spent about $150, and that should be enough to drive the amount of traffic to each of these 3 landing pages that we need, so that we can see if they differ in conversion rates. All right, now the reason I'm spending so much, just to reiterate, it's to quickly get tons of traffic since we're just doing some split testing. Later on, once I've optimized my funnel, I'll take my budget back down, to a lower amount. But we just want this to take a couple of days so we can get quick information rather than drag it on over a month. So I'm just going to ramp up spending real quickly to see what the results are in the short term, and then we'll dial it back down and do more of a long-term strategy. Optimization, we want it set for link clicks. So it's tracking every time somebody clicks a link, and it'll track your cost per link click. So again, I'm estimating we'll spend between 25 to 50 cents per unique link click. So that means each individual person who clicks the link. Sometimes it tracks if they click the link multiple times under the same person. We just want unique link clicks. So that's something we can filter out in our results later. They also have landing page views. So we'll deliver your ads to people who are more likely to click on your ads link and load the landing page. You'll need Pixel installed. Now, the difference between this and link clicks says we'll deliver your ads to the right people to help you get the most link clicks from your ad to a destination. So based on people's behaviors before, they're able to tell whether people typically click links or whether they load landing pages. So they're going to be able to kind of optimize your ad for the best people. Right now, we want to leave it on link clicks, but again, this is something we can split test later. There's so many things you could split test as a marketer, so that's why Facebook ads can get pretty costly. in the short term, because you got to do lots of testing. So maybe later we'll come back and try some ads where we do landing page views instead of link clicks. You can also do daily unique reach. So they'll deliver your ads to people once per day. That way the same person isn't seeing your ad 3 or 4 times in the same day. So this is another one I like to do. That way we can reach as many new people as possible. So if in a few days after I run these ads to these initial tests, maybe we'll come back in here and switch it up and do daily unique reach and see how that works. All right, bid strategy. Right now it's set to lowest cost. Get the most link clicks for your budget. If you want to set a bid cap, we could set a bid cap. So that means we're only going to bid, 30 cents max per click. So Facebook won't show our ads until all the other people above us that have bid more than us have exhausted their budget for the day. Once their budgets have been exhausted, then Facebook will keep working its way down the ladder to the lower people who are wanting to spend less money. So eventually it'll get to us if we're bidding a lesser amount than our competitors, who might be bidding $1 or 50 cents a click. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get your ad shown to a bunch of people. You might only get it shown, it might only spend $10 out of my $30, because we might be last on the totem pole if we set a really low number. Like if I only wanted to spend 10 cents per click, then my ads probably wouldn't get shown first until everybody else has gone through their ad budget for the day. Then eventually it'd get to me, and it's not guaranteeing then at this rate that it's going to use up my entire $30 budget. So it might take several days longer to do the testing, but at least I'm only paying 10 cents an ad. So it's up to you if you want to set a cap. I'm just going to let Facebook optimize and do their thing. And later, if I think the price is too high, like if the cost is coming in at 75 cents or 80 cents a click, then I'm going to go ahead and set my bid cap. And again, we'll have to readjust some things up here, because if you're spending that much per click, or at least in my niche, if I'm spending that much, it's going to vary depending on which niche you're in. But I know running past tests, I get between 25 to 50 cents in the golf niche. So I know that I'm going to need to optimize my interests and my audience up here to try to get a better per click cost per link click. So that's describing that. When you get charged, it's based on impressions. No, we want to switch this to link clicks. I only want to get charged when they actually click the link. Ad scheduling, run ads all the time, standard delivery, and that's that. So let's go ahead and click the continue button, and now we can begin designing our ads. All right, so first up, we've got to pick a Facebook business page that we're representing. So I picked my Golf Practice Guides business page there. If we were running ads on Instagram, we'd connect our Instagram account, but I'm not running ads on Instagram right now. And I really don't plan on doing Instagram ads because I've already got a big Instagram account with 28,000 followers, and my daily impressions and reach over there is already really high, so I don't need to be spending Facebook ad money to reach those same amount of people. I already organically get that free traffic from Instagram because of my big Instagram account. Now, format, we want to do probably the single image. We could also do a golf video if we wanted to try to share information with people about our opt-in incentive before they click over to the landing page. That might help filter some people before they click through to save us money and get us a higher conversion rate, which I'll test video versus an image in the future. We'll do more split testing, but right now we'll just stick with the standard image. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the free stock images Facebook will provide you by Shutterstock. So all we have to do here is type in something golf related. So enter in the words golf. A bunch of pictures come up. And again, you can split test pictures to see if one matters more than the other as far as click-through rates, but in this case, I don't think it really will. So for these ads, we want to run the same picture for each ads. I'm trying to keep all my ads the same. That way, we're just testing the opt-in incentive, not the ad design itself. So let's go ahead and find one. Let's do this one maybe with the golf ball putting. Alright, so let's go ahead and click confirm. We'll just run one picture today because we're not going to test a bunch of different images. So we'll keep it pretty basic. One picture. You get a little preview of what it looks like so far. So here the text box, this is what's going to show above your ad. So I'm going to go ahead and put in some ad copy here. I'm going to give it my website URL to link up this ad so that when they click on the ad, it takes them over here to this landing page. And then after that, we're going to change out our button here. So instead of saying learn more, we're going to go ahead and say download. So it gives it a different call to action that tells them what to do. They're going to be downloading their free opt-in incentive. And then your news feed, link description. So let's go ahead and say download our free golf resource. So we'll type that in, and it's going to put it right here underneath your headline. So let's find the headline box now up here, and we can give this a headline. So 10 best short game drills to lower your golf score. So 10 best short game drills to lower your golf score. So again, this is what the headline looks like. It's a little long. We might find a way to decrease the amount of words to make it a little shorter. So mobile should be your #1 priority. When Facebook does their stock market quarterly earning reports, they always come out with their numbers of how many users they have and their percentage of desktop versus mobile users. And mobile is dominating right now. So mobile should be where you're optimizing ads for your people to click on, because that's, the most people are going to be using mobile versus desktop. All right, so this is a little preview. Again, we could put in our URL, which I'm going to do in a moment, and we can put in our text up here, which is our ad text, our call to action, telling people what they're getting here. So really, I could just copy, all of this and put it up here into my ad if I wanted to. So what I would do is I'd put in some copy here. So in this case, download my golf skills assessment test, step-by-step instructions of how to complete the drills. See where you're weak and where you're strong in your golf game. Complete this with a friend for fun. Then I might, copy paste the link back to my website, to that landing page. So golfpracticeguides.com/landing page 1 or whatever that URL is. And then they can click on the link here in the ad, or they can go down and click on the button that says download. Either one's going to link out to that landing page, and then they're going to end up over on my website. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create individual ads now, sending traffic to each of these different individual landing pages. So we're going to have 3 different ads to start in this first batch this week, and then next week I'll probably test 3 other opt-in incentives, and then from there we'll kind of compare the top 2 or 3 out of the 6, and we'll run ads to those to make sure that you've got the best one that's the winner. So after doing a couple different testings, we'll see which opt-in incentive's the winner. All right, guys, here we are. Let's do a quick review now that I've set up these ads. So step 1, we're inside my ads manager. I've filtered it out to the Golf Practice Guides account. If you have multiple business pages, I've selected the one that I'm running these ads for. So here we are under the campaigns tab. You can see the list of different campaigns I've run in the past. I also want to set up a filter. So we're going to come up here to filter. We're going to go by campaign delivery, only the active campaigns. So we'll go ahead and click on that, and that's going to get rid of all those other ones that I've turned off that I have run in the past, so that I can clean things up and only see my current active campaign. All right, so now that that filter's turned on, so here we are at the campaign level. So we created a golf opt-in split test where I'm going to be testing which opt-in freebies perform best at getting people onto my golf email list. And then from there, they're going to join my golf sales funnel autoresponder sequence, where I'm going to send them a series of emails, and hopefully a couple of these people convert to customers. All right, so let's go into the ad set level next. So when you click on that, all it does is takes you over here to the ad set tab. So we can see that I set up a test for US, Canada, Australia, and the UK. And we are testing against 25 to 55-year-olds. They're male and female. We didn't exclude any genders. We're just excluding on ages. So we cut out the 18 to 24-year-olds, and we cut out 56 and beyond. So we're testing this age range, and I know this because I've looked at analytics inside my Google Analytics to look at my website traffic and see what the general demographics of my audience are. So that's who I'm going to try to tailor these ads towards. Now this is going to be cold traffic. In the future, I could set up a retargeting ad, which will target anybody who's visited my website in the last 6 months. That way, that's a little bit warmer traffic. I might be able to get a higher opt-in conversion rate by converting that warm traffic. People who stop by my website, maybe they didn't join my email list the first time, but they see my ad on Facebook, that gets them back to my landing page, and now they opt in. So we're going to test that again in the future videos coming up in this episode series. Right now, we're just driving cold traffic, brand new people to my website who are interested in golf. So let's go ahead on to the ad set level. So under that campaign, we're spending $30. That $30 budget is going to get spread out among these 3 different ads that I created. One for the 10 short game drills, one for my putting email boot camp, and one for my skills assessment worksheet. So we're going to see which of these opt-in freebies does best. I'm going to be monitoring their impressions and reach, so how many times the audiences are getting shown these ads. And then we've set up custom columns here so I can track everything. So I can see how my unique clicks are doing. So once I see each of these ads have gotten about 100 clicks, I'm going to shut the ad off right here with the on-off switch. And that's going to stop Facebook from showing this ad, and that $30 ad budget I'm spending per day will get reallocated among the remaining ads. So that way I can make sure all 3 ad sets get 100 clicks to them. By turning off each ad, once they get their 100 clicks, then I'll stop them. So that's going to be unique clicks. We're going to be able to see how much the cost is for each click. So we're also going to be able to compare not only lead generation, but also which of these has a lower cost per click. So for example, if all 3 of these say they've got 100 link clicks now, and then we look at the cost column and I see that these 100 clicks were costing me 20 cents. So I spent about $20 to get 100 clicks. These ones maybe cost me 30 cents. So I spent $30 to get those 100 clicks. And then maybe these were costing me 50 cents. So I spent $50 to get those 100 clicks. So I'll be able to track, which one was doing best in terms of cost per link click as well. But more importantly, not so much the cost is actually how well they're converting. That's what we're testing right now, but I will have this kind of as back-end knowledge for in the future. I'm also going to know which one was best for cost per link click. All right, so then this column, we've got cost per lead. So not only once they click through to my landing page, but then we're going to be able to track how many people saw the landing page and then finally opted into my email list. So I'm going to be able to track costs per lead. All right, so to track the conversion rate inside of Facebook, if you didn't have a landing page email software like ConvertKit, they track website content views. So I'll be able to see how many people landed on each landing page. And then they also have the website leads column. So it'll track how many that viewed the content ended up becoming leads. And you'll be able to calculate your own conversion rate then by just dividing these 2 numbers. And then later on, if we're tracking them all the way to my store, I can see how many of them made it to my checkout page and ended up getting a thank you page for purchasing a product. So these are the different data points I'm going to be monitoring over time here. So if any of these people that come from Facebook end up on my email list and they end up buying a product down the road, it'll show it here. So it's kind of a long-term thing to check back in a couple months from now and see if anybody ended up in these columns. But for the short term, we're looking at unique clicks, how much they're costing per lead, how many leads we're getting, and what the conversion rate of those leads are. And then we'll be able to determine a winner between our opt-in incentives, and we'll be able to shut off the other ads and just run with that opt-in incentive once we figure out which one's the winner. So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode where we are covering how we're setting up our split testing campaign in Facebook. Now, in one of the upcoming episodes, I'm obviously going to do an update. I don't want to leave you guys hanging wondering which one won. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss that. And I'll show you the data and results in several days from now once I get done running these ads. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in our next upload.